So I was at this conference and we were discussing, sort of. I don't know if we were discussing. I don't know. Try again. I was at this conference and they were saying the enemy is targeting our children. Why though? Have you stopped and asked why? Why children? The enemy is not stupid. Just in case you thought that, he's not. He's not stupid. He's very smart. He studies really hard and he has a lot of patience. Has anyone ever told you that? Just in case they haven't, let me be the first. The enemy is patient. He's patient. Yeah, and he studies a lot and he's smart. So, now that we've got that out of the way, the enemy is targeting our children. But why? We can pray all day, every day, and people who don't believe in God can say that that there is something targeting our children. You can say something, we can say the enemy, but at the end of the day, we all want the same thing, which is we want our kids protected and we want this targeting to stop. How do you stop this targeting? You know why. Why are they being targeted? If you know the why, then you can pray over the right things and be specific and then learn how to stop the targeting. How to get in front of the targeting and say, I see you. Because an enemy exposed is an enemy revealed. Once you know him and expose it, then he's revealed. Anyways, but even if you don't believe in God, this is everyone. Everyone can see that there is something clearly going on with children, whether you say something is targeting them or the enemy is targeting them. You just know there is a force targeting them. So I believe in God personally. That's mine. And so I do say the enemy is targeting the children. But no one is saying why. Even if they say something or God, they're still not saying why. Why would the enemy target children? Why has he been doing this for so many generations? Why are we seeing the fruit of that labor and the patience right now in the generations we're seeing that are just completely, Lordy be, need lots and lots and lots of help. And lots of help. Because we're just like, what? Because we can see such a shift in what the enemy did that it's so dramatic between just a few generations ago and now. We can see there was a major shift and thing that happened that we are like, whoa. Believe in God or not, you still go, what happened in this gap here? What happened? So I was at this conference and they were praying and they're like, we should pray because children are being targeted. Yes, but why? Again, I say why, because it's important to know the why. Why kids do things is important. Why people do things, why you do things. The thought process behind it is what's important. So why? Why the attack on children? Let me tell you why. The enemy, you have to go back and think. The enemy only does things. Steal, kill, and destroy. What's he do? Even in children's church, I teach this. What the kids know. What does he do? The enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy. Thank you. Yes. Steal, kill, and destroy. Okay? But it's not things that are not valuable. He wants things that are valuable. They're worth something. They do something. Not just petty little things. Okay? So just like this amazing artifact that might be in a museum somewhere that someone might try to take at some point, or this fabulous painting that's worth millions, those things are valuable. And so someone might target them or go after something that is valuable. And then if that happens, they will heighten security. Why aren't we heightening our security for our children? We see the target. We see there's something going on. Why aren't we heightening our security? Why are we just going, we'll just pray for it. We'll just pray for it, buddy. We don't know. We'll just pray. It's fine. No, Betty, it's not fine. And praying is great, but you need to pray with specifics. What are we praying for? What are we targeting in our prayer warrior world here? What are we targeting? We can't just target, there's something about children. I don't know, but it's something about them kids. No, there's something there. What is it? What is the enemy targeting in those kids? Why? There is something there. A thief doesn't steal anything out of an empty house. It's an empty house. He wants the valuable things and will leave the things alone that are not valuable, that don't do anything for them, that will not give that enemy or thief money, power, and influence, because that's what it wants. Money, power, influence. It's stealing. Steal, kill, and destroy. Money, power, influence. That's a different conversation for another time. But why the children? They have influence. They have power. And you keep looking at kids and being like, they're just little kids. They don't have status and all these things. So maybe he's only targeting specific kids. No, he's targeting all. Because the enemy knows what children carry, which most people do not. And I am here to tell you, and I will teach this until God tells me to stop. But I am here to say this because it isn't a known fact. And I don't know why it's not a known fact. So if I know it, I need to say and teach it. Because kids have power. Their innocence is their power. Just think of it like power that might be confused. Any superhero world or whatever it is, as long as their power is focused, right? If it's a pure power, it's much stronger than a confused or altered or not quite knowing the strength of the power, right? Kids' power is their innocence, which is being taken from them younger and younger and younger, but it's so powerful and it's so pure. It has a damaging effect on the enemy and the devil and his kingdom. And if the devil is not worried about you, it's because you're not messing with his kingdom. And side note, the devil is not worried about most of us because we are not bothering his kingdom. And just because you go to church does not mean you're bothering his kingdom. Okay? Let me just put that disclaimer out there real quick. Children bother his kingdom, whether they go to church or not. It's true. Okay? So how can I prove that? How can I prove that? Well, if you go read about Moses and you read about Jesus and when they were babies and what was going on, the enemy in that time was so scared of the baby because of what it would be when it grew up, what it would be once it knew it found out. Once it found out what it was supposed to be at some point, it was scared. And it was scared at that time in Moses, when Moses was born and Jesus was born, right? So the enemy is scared, but let me tell you why, because God tells us why in the Bible. Psalms 8:2 tells us why he's so scared of children. He's scared of children. The enemy is scared of children. Adults, not so much. He broke most of us long ago, and we're just hitting ourselves on repeat of sabotage 24/7. So his minions come and check on us periodically, but he's not worried about us. Most of us, he's not worried. Children, though, scare him. They scare him. And don't let him get a hold of anything in the children's ministry that I do. They definitely scare him. They definitely scare him. Because I don't do all, woohoo, play date time. Nope. And the kids love it. Anyways, we're not going there. The enemy is scared of children. Why is he scared of children? They carry the power. How do you know they carry the power? Why is he trying to steal, kill, and destroy from them? Because he wants their power. Where is his power? You keep saying power. Lady, I'm getting tired of this. I'm done watching. Okay, great. So Psalms 8:2 in the Bible says this verse, through. You know what the word through means? It doesn't mean around. It doesn't mean near. It doesn't mean next to. Through means it has to come out of you. Through the praises of infants and children, God has raised up a stronghold against the enemy. But it doesn't stop there. It says to silence the foe and the avenger. See, you have to pay attention to every word and placement in the Bible verse. Through the praises of infants and children, which means out of the mouth of infants, infant little baby, okay, and children. We're all children of God. Yeah, I get that. But each rendition or each version of the Bible just say some form of baby and infant. Because he needs to know that it is not just someone who is 7, 8, 9. There is no age where it's like, well, here's where it starts. Here's where the enemy gets afraid. No, the enemy gets afraid the second they're born. Infants. So it's through the praises of infants and children. God has set up a stronghold through them. God put a stronghold against the enemy. That's why he fears them. But God didn't stop there. It says to, which means it's going to do. So keep following it. To silence, which means shut down. to silence the foe and the avenger. To silence the foe and the avenger. In Psalms 8, when you read that, I do not know why God illuminated this to me. I don't know why he continues to illuminate this to me. Who am I? Seriously, who am I that you want to tell this information to, that you want me to tell this to other people, to tell them? I don't know. I have no idea. I have no idea why God illuminates this to me, why he tells it to me, why he gives me this revelation. Little old me, little old me, little old me. I don't know why, but he did, and that's what it is. And it's been hidden from so many people to see because he needed someone to see it at the right time and the right placement to get it out in the right way. And apparently he picked me, and I don't know why, but we're rolling with it because I ran for a long time and it didn't work very well. You ever tried to run from God? I mean, it's just like running in a circle in a room. No reason. Anyways, but through the praises of infants and children, which means it comes through them, he set up a stronghold to silence, which means through their praises and worship, through the praises of infants and children, he set up a stronghold against the enemy. But God didn't stop there. It's not just a stronghold, because you can break a stronghold, but he set it up to silence the foe and the avenger, to silence and shut down. Who thinks it's funny? Avenger is in the Bible, and Avenger is also superhero stuff. I'm just saying. Y'all, I got a whole thing on that too. The Bible is very, very interesting if you read it and hear it through the mind that God gave me up here. Anyways, to silence the foe and the avenger. That's why the devil's afraid of kids. That's why the devil wants to steal, kill, and destroy from them. That's why he wants their identity before they know who they are and what they carry. It's not like, oh, well, he wants this. Why do you think it's so wrapped up in identity? Why do you think it's so wrapped up in that? Why do you think there's so many confused about their identity? It's a plot. It's a ploy. He's strategic. The enemy is strategic. He's smart. He's patient. Okay? And the thing is, I've said this before. If you don't want to believe what the Bible says or what God says or what you're even, just look at it. Look at the generations coming up and look at what they're dealing with. Look at what they're sounding like. Look at what they're just, all the mess they're starting. Goodness gracious. And look at how the perversion is getting worse and worse. And look at how the innocence is being stolen younger and younger and younger. That's not by accident, and it's not by coincidence. It's because the enemy is trying to illegally take the power and authority that does not belong to him, that is actually meant to destroy him, to shut it down so it never realizes that it was meant to destroy him in the first place. So I'm simply just stating, as much as I can possibly say, I don't know why this is coming out of my little old mouth, but I'm just saying, yes, the enemy is targeting our children. He's targeting our children because he's scared of the children. Why is the enemy scared of the children? Because God tells us why. Because the enemy is trying to illegally, like everything else, illegally climb through a back door of power and authority that children carry that are actually meant to shut him down. So he wants to steal it before they ever know it's meant to shut him down. Where is my proof? Again, Psalm 8:2. God talks through the whole Bible about children. You just have to read it and pay attention. And when Jesus came and he was teaching, he was like, don't tell those kids not to come to me. And I tell you right here and right now, unless means you have to do it, which people are just not doing. And they're like, skip kids. I don't get that. Don't ever tell somebody in children's to skip that, because you know what? You do not get it. You do not get it. You have no idea what kids carry and how powerful they are and how smart they are and how strong they are. You have no idea. So you can just sit down somewhere. Anyways, they just don't know how strong children are. And Jesus said, let them come to me. And unless, which means if you don't come to me like this child, you will not enter the kingdom of heaven. Why is that? What the heck? So maybe instead of going all about and looking all these different places and trying to figure stuff out, we should be looking at who God pointed to, who he said he set up a stronghold to silence the foe and avenger through. Figure out what they've got. And that's the power that is in the innocence. That The enemy wants to take, steal, kill, and destroy. That's why children are valuable. That is why the enemy is afraid of them. And that is why you should pay attention and not just cover and pray, but watch the innocence. Cover the innocence as much as you possibly can for children in your sphere. I could go on about this for a really long time, but I'm just going to end it here because I have a lot of things on this on any channel you want to watch of mine. Click somewhere and you'll see them. But I just had to get this off me because the enemy's targeting children, but y'all just don't know why. And you're not asking why. Or maybe you are, and I'm sent to tell you why.